everyone. Michael Palmer here again, and it's great to be back to talk about my books and to get to know you. I'm really pleased with the response to all this, and I enjoy getting messages, and I answer as many as I can that are personal, and the ones that show up on my fan page, such as it is. I try to answer them sometimes in groups and sometimes in person when I can. It's great fun for me because I never did like the isolation of writing. I'm sitting here alone hour after hour trying to figure out whether I'm dull or just stupid or what. But it's great to be connected through Facebook. So thanks. For those of you who are new, go look at some of the old video blogs that I've done regarding my books. And for those who have done this before, you know I'm going to talk about one of my books. Today I'm going to talk about Fatal. And I'm going to ask a question at some point, which is, just a formality, and to separate out those people who have watched the videos. And I haven't thought of what the question's going to be for today, but I will very shortly. Oh, yeah, I will right now. And that is the question of what is Matt's, who's the hero of the book, his favorite mode of transportation? And I'm not telling you the answer, but it has two wheels and makes noise. So let's talk about Fatal for a little while. The winner of the contest, I remind you, gets the unpublished manuscript of the first book I ever wrote, called The Corey Prescription, and you'll be able to read it and go, oh my God, I understand why nobody ever published this, or I understand what they saw in Palmer's writing that made them feel he had a future. Now the future is about 16 books long. So let's talk about Fatal, which, like all my other books, is one of my very favorites. This book started with an interest of mine in Asperger's syndrome, where I started to do an immense amount of research. For those of you who have read The Second Opinion, which deals with Asperger's syndrome, you would know from my author's note that one of my sons was born with or developed Asperger's syndrome, and in the course of trying to understand his situation and the nature of Asperger's, I learned a tremendous amount about it. And the area that I became the most fascinated with was vaccinations. And I went to a number of courses about vaccinations, and I became connected with a group called the National Vaccine Information Center in Vienna, Virginia. And I would definitely recommend going online and looking them up. They're a tremendous resource for information regarding vaccines. And the NVIC was started by two women who are in the book, Fatal, and they are great characters, and in real life they're great characters, and in the book they're great characters. So I decided I wanted to write a thriller about vaccinations. I still have a serious belief that conditions such as asthma, Asperger's, diabetes, and a number of other kind of autoimmune phenomena, and I can't say for sure that that's what Asperger's is, or any of them if you want, but that they have something to do with the fact that our kids are being bombarded by huge amounts of vaccinations, often given in groups of 2, of 3, or 4, and there's a drug in the book called Omnivax, which is, I think, 26 vaccinations all put together. And so that was what started me in wanting to write this book. I have lots of reasons for setting it where I did, which is in southern West Virginia, the town of near Beckley, if you wanted to look at a map. Beckley, West Virginia is one of my favorite places to visit, and I often have put it in books. So it's about a young doctor who has come back home to be a doctor, Matt, and his family is connected with the mines in Beckley, primarily coal mines. And when problems begin to develop, Matt, who is an advocate for mining health, automatically assumes that these problems are due to um, conditions down deep in the mines. And what he's going to discover in the course of the novel is that that may not be the case. And of course, I don't want to give too much away to all of you, but I love writing about West Virginia. I love writing that particular book and the characters who populated Matt and Nikki and Ellen. And basically, it's three stories woven separately and then gradually becoming one story and featuring a great scene in one of the mines where the entrances have been blown up and Matt and Nikki and Ellen are all sealed in this cave. So that's it for Fatal. I hope you do get a chance to read it. It's still in print, like all of my other books, and as I said, it was really a joy for me to write a thriller dealing with vaccinations and not answering questions, just raising them. And there are lots of people who were very offended. Some of my medical school pediatrician classmates felt that what I was writing about was heresy. And the truth is, I didn't write anything bad. All I did was raise questions about the fact that vaccines are not held to the same standards as other drugs when it comes to doing a double-blind crossover study. So I appreciate your staying with me this long. I have no idea how long I talked, but I look forward to meeting with you again in the future. Thanks very much.